I was just asked this question actually, and um, I don't feel like there's maybe other people think differently, but um, I don't feel like there's a true rivalry here. I think there's two teams that mutually respect each other and uh, and have the same attitude and intensity and mentality to win trophies. So it's really cool to see Toronto here again, and it's the best team wins, and I don't think there's a true rivalry.
Go down here with Franco.
Well, he's so complex as a player, as an individual. On the field, he's willing to take chances, wants the ball to his feet a lot. But I think what surprises a lot of people is you don't see him for the majority part of the game. He does a lot of the movements that you don't really see on TV or on the field until he scores a goal. And then you say, wow, what great movement. But he's been doing that the whole game. So he's really relentless in the way he plays off the ball. And it's really a joy to watch. And that's why he's been really successful here, I think.
Let's go to Matt.
Steph was the MVP in 2016, the final there, and he had a lot of attention on him from that for a little while. How do you think that he handled that spotlight, and how do you think that he's grown within the group over the last couple of years as he's kind of come into his own?
Well, I think Steph is a guy that is always going to thank, his teammate, his coach, first and foremost. He's a very humble guy, and I think he's handled it extremely well. He hasn't let it get to his head, but he continues to get better, and that's what I love to see about Steph. He's a little bit older now, right? And Steph will hit me in the back for that, but the fact that he's willing to get back onto the training pitch and get better with his feet, or communicating a little bit more, finding that leadership role within the team is great to see, and I think that's something that has carried over from 2016.
Let's go right here.
Christian, the fact that it's you guys in Toronto for the third time in the last 4 years, what does that say about these two clubs being kind of a model of consistency in this league?
Well, it's hard to be consistent in this league, first and foremost. The fact that Toronto didn't make the playoffs, if I'm not mistaken, last year, and all of a sudden they're back in MLS Cup. It's hard to do, and to get back into MLS Cup, for the third time in 4 years, is pretty incredible in a league that is so parity driven, and so it's two clubs, two franchises that are willing to take chances on players and willing to spend a bit of money. But at the same time, it's the mentality within the locker room, the front office, to say, hey, we're going to go for another trophy, and it's really, really nice and pleasing to see.
We're going to go to Jeff.
Christian, you talked just now about the consistency of the two franchises. I mean, you've been two of the better franchises the last decade in MLS. So what do you think this game will mean for the legacy of whoever wins this game between these two powerhouse franchises? I mean, beyond this season, obviously, beyond the one season.
Right. It makes it uneven, right? If Toronto wins, they'll be 2-1. If we win, we're going to be 2-1. And it'll make the other team even more driven, more motivated to get back into the final. But the reality is, I think if you win a trophy, it should motivate you to win another one. Losing the final shouldn't motivate you to get another one. I think once you win it, you want to get there again. But back to your question, I would say it would just mean that we need to play another game, right? Another final, and the reality is, I think two of these teams we'll get to another final and we'll play each other again. But 2-1 makes it so that we can get to another one.
Go in the back.
So you played against Michael Bradley for a few times, and then you got to know him in national team games. Does it get you fired up to kind of play somebody of his stature?
Certainly. I mean, when we played them here this year, I was extremely motivated because that's someone I really look up to. The way he carries himself, I've now seen it firsthand for a year and a half, 2 years now, and he's the ultimate professional, a true leader, a true captain, and so anytime I'm facing him, I want him to feel that I'm good enough to be on the same field as him, and I've played alongside him, and what a competitor he is, and so anytime I get to have a conversation with him, learn, enjoy the moment that I have with him, is really a unique experience. I remember I had his jersey growing up, so it's going to be really fun to face him again.
Evis.
Christian, the coaches in this matchup know each other well. How many times they face each other now? How important are they going to be? Their tactics in this matchup. You've seen them go at it in the final before. What kind of role are they going to play? Their tactics. And I want to ask you about Jordan. We talked before the season about everything he went through, and it seems like he's really having fun. Like maybe more than I've ever seen him have fun. Do you see that? How have you seen him kind of this season go along for him and kind of seem to really hit a stride and have fun?
Yeah, I think in 2017, I thought Vanny did a great job of altering the way they played, their tactics. They ended up, I think, playing in a 4-4-2 diamond, and we couldn't find too many answers. And tactically, I thought he was spot on and made it very difficult for us to press. So you'll see that in this game. Schmetzer's side, obviously, he gives us a lot of freedom to play, but you'll see a bit of that in this game. Obviously, we're going to be on the front foot, be at home in front of our fans, but you'll see a different Seattle than you've seen in the last two finals. And in terms of Jordan, it's so great to see him have fun. Like you said, he's having the most fun of his career, I think, and large part has to do with switching from right to left wing. I think once he got back from Gold Cup, he was a bit sharper. He seems a bit fitter, stronger in every single category, and he's getting the final product, not just scoring, but being dangerous, being a threat, willing to run without the ball, and he's using his strengths to his ability. And I also think that the team is willing to play a hopeful ball that Jordan will get there instead of trying to play out of everything.
Well, your last question doesn't just down here.
How much emphasis did you guys put on finishing high up in the standings to enhance your chances of posting a well? And how is that going to change the experience from the previous two?
Well, it's been a up and down season, I think, for us, and I think if you talk to the players, to the front office, to the coaches, I think a lot of guys weren't pleased with how we did during the regular season. Although we finished second and narrowly got there, it's the fact that it was an up and down season and we didn't compete for Supporters Shield with the amount of talent that we have. I would have said that this was not the best year that we've had. But now that we did get second place and you look forward. You can't look at the regular season and the fact that we got second place and all the things fell into place. It's going to put a lot of emphasis on other teams to do well next year, but us to continue to go for it. I think if we don't compete for Supporters Shield with the amount of talent that we have, I think it's a fail as an organization because we want to be there. We have that mentality, and I think it's ingrained in this culture within the club.